Welcome back to The Bloated Chef. I am Chef Jerome, an actual bloated chef. And before we get to today's informative and entertaining tutorial, please be sure to slap down on that like button, click the subscribe button, smash that notification bell, and share with the entire planet. Please keep your hands inside the ride at all times, and we thank you. Oh, we are back on the big board. Welcome back to The Bloated Chef. What do we have? I see a bag of little neck clams, potatoes, onions, carrots, butter, lobster base, shrimp base, bacon. Yes, of course it's a chowder. And as usual, we are going to bum blast this right off the rails as we make gnocchi. We're calling this gnocchi clam chowder. First things first, maintenance. Let's go ahead and dice and hand chop that bacon. We want it to be small chunks, not too big. They will shrink as they cook, but we'll get them about medium crispy, right? We knock out our onions and garlic, get our mise en place together. Yes, there it is. Good looking mise en place. Let's go ahead and oil those potatoes. We don't need to. For a little extra flavor, of course. A little bit of olive oil, a little bit of kosher salt. Into the oven at 450 for about 40 minutes. Thank you. All right, let's lay the foundation for this chowder. Check this guy out with his multitasking skills. Pouring, tossing butter, flipping bacon. All right. As stated earlier, we'll cook the bacon to just about medium. Golden brown is good. A little bit of fat still to cook out. We'll add that back in and finish it in the broth. There goes that tab of shrimp paste, about a tablespoon of lobster base. Now then, remaining mise en place ingredients. Carrots, onions, green onion bulbs. Season appropriately, obviously, with salt and pepper. And in goes the rest of that garlic, and we'll bloom that for about 2 to 3 more minutes. All right, we add the bacon back to the pool. Let that salt filter through. Let that fat render a little bit more. And now it's time for, you guessed it, the deglaze. A little bit of rice wine. From here, one more good healthy poke of fresh cracked pepper. The salt is put away. From here on out, we are sans salt. In goes about a half a cup of flour. Very light flour, very light dairy in this. It's more of a brothy chowder, or as we call it up north, a Rhode Island chowder. 45 minutes later, out come our spuds. Those are done. Let them cool a little bit. Crack them open. Help them cool a little bit more. Look at that lovely steam. All right, they are just about warm enough to work with now. You don't want to get them cold. You want to get them room temperature and or warm, if you will. As we set up our ricer and begin to rice these potatoes. Don't get too much skin in there. A little bit's okay. A little skin in the game's okay, I guess you could say. I don't know. Anyways, moving on. Shell them out, scrape them out, get that flesh into the ricer. Very simply, squeeze it on through. Simply rinse and repeat. And we are done. Smush them through. We have riced our potatoes. Now do not throw out those skins. We've got a wee bit of a surprise for you at the end. Keep them. We're going to use them for a crispy component. Now then, separation time. Separate the yolks from the whites 2 times. And in they go. First we add salt. Then we add the pepper. Then we add the shredded Pecorino Romano cheese, and in go those 2 egg yolks. All right, we mix and incorporate thoroughly, and then we add our flour. A wee bit of flour. Again, not much needed. Very light, very soft, very pillowy little dumplings we're about to create. Throw them in our chowder. Oh yeah, I know. Doesn't sound right, but it's going to be delish. Yeah, right, we have turned that flour out onto the board, the big board full of flour. Make sure you keep adding flour as you're rolling and pinching, turning this into a big, light, pillowy dough ball. You'll be able to feel the difference based on the fact that we riced the potatoes instead of whipping them. Yeah, this thing's going to turn out really beautiful. Start forming, start shaping. You're going to look to cut this into fours. Hit it with another round of flour, and now we will cut and scrape and separate. Let's roll them in the flour as we make our cuts. We got 4 nice even ones here. Now we will begin to roll each one of these out into our long dong so we can go ahead and shape our gnocchis. All right, we continue to roll, continue to roll. Our dough has come together. It's not so sticky, but oh so light. We are there. We have got our shape. We have got our form. It is time to portion. All right. One more light dusting. You get the picture. All right. Our wee little dumplings are done. Go ahead and fork them. Put our little indentation in there. Yes. Yes. Aren't they lovely? Hashtag OMG adorbs. Now we can transfer those to a floured sheet pan or baking sheet. And we move on, turn around, head back to the stove. Let's put this broth together. In goes a little bit at a time of that seafood broth, shrimp base, lobster base, chicken base. Go ahead and whip that around until it gets nice and smooth. We'll add a little bit more. Remember, this is more Rhode Island style than it is New England style. So it's going to be a little more brothy, which will work well with this rendition of chowder because those big gnocchi dumplings can absorb all that beautiful stock, right? Let's keep adding until we think we're at the right consistency, which it looks like. Let's get a taste. As expected, it is salty. So how do we combat that? With citrus and with our dairy. In this case, it's milk. Not even heavy cream, and just a little bit, maybe about a half a cup total. How about that? How's that looking? Yeah, thinking that's looking pretty damn good too. Booyah! And finally we get to crack open those clams. We're going to cook them and simmer them in that broth with all of their juice, all of their liquor. Don't forget any of that leftover juice as well, of course. Now then, back to the countertop. There's those potato skins. I'm going to take a little bit of those egg whites, toss the skins in the egg whites, and we're going to create a nice crispy topping for this chowder. We will preheat our pan with some veggie oil, and in they go, quite simply. No need to season them or anything. They're already salted. These are going to be nice crispy little nuggets on top of the chowder. Once they stop yakking, we go ahead and transfer them onto some paper towels to drain. All right, we've done the old switcheroo on the pans. We've got that seafood broth heated and simmering. In goes our gnocchi. Now we switch the pans back around again. There we go. We're going to take a little butter and a little oil, get it hot. As soon as those gnocchis are floating and cooked, into that brown butter they go. A quick pan sear, and into the chowder they shall go. Alrighty, slightly browned on the edges means it's time to dump it in the pool. This whole thing has come together. Brown butter's in there. Good Lord. Clams are opened and cooked. I'll tell you what, this ravioli is going to rock. As we finish it up with a little bit of greenery, in go those green onions. And it's time to plate. Are you friggin' kidding me? Oh, it looks good, but don't forget that broth. Don't ever forget the broth. Clams, yikes, delicious. What else can we add to this dish? How about a couple pieces of toast? Of course. And like a dumbass, I forgot the crispy potato skins. But hell, there goes a little drop of hot sauce of your favorite kind. And get into this, folks. Unreal.